all is my t-shirt that Laura gave me, Laura FM, proud declared SP. And I have to get another one saying top secret undercover CIA agent, which Scientology is now saying, hi, thank you for coming on. Oh, I'm so happy you came on. And I'm horizontal. Isn't that nice? That's good. That's good. And the desktop is still trying to set up, so don't worry about that. It's probably going to make some sounds. Now I lost you again. Anyway, I'm hoping you're there. So today, this is just going to be a short video. I happen to be watching DOA, Defender of Ants, and he was over at the complex, and he was using a megaphone, basically saying Scientology is a cult, which they are, and, that Laura wants to talk to her father, which she does. Hello, all of you. Thank you for coming on. This is just a very short video about Scientology. You're not going to believe their latest thing. Anyway, hi, hello. It's Tory, just so you know. Tory. That's right. Anyway, DOI was over at the complex just a few minutes ago. Thank you. I love you guys too. And please like this video and subscribe. Last night I had like 800 people watching it, or maybe 1,000, but there were only like 100 and something likes. And it's like, come on, if you're going to come on and watch it, like my video, period. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it, but I hope you guys do. All right, I'm here, Tori, your friend from Nova Scotia. All right, that's good. Yeah, hit the like button, please. And I love the shirt too. Thank you. Anyway, wait till you hear what happened. So DOI is using his megaphone, and of course the police come. And I was a little surprised about the megaphone because years ago we used to try to use megaphones, and the police said, no, they're not allowed in LA at all. You can't use them. Okay, so now these guys are using them, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe something changed. It's hard to keep up with the LAPD because they juggle things around, and I think personally that they probably have a little bit of help from the Church of Scientology because they're always on their side. So they show up with DOA, and he's painting his van and kind of protesting at the same time, and they say you can't use the megaphone. Why not? Because they're in the middle of mass. Can you believe they would even say that? I mean, it's one thing to say you're interrupting our religious services, which still is a bunch of bullshit because it's not religious, really, at all. If you have to pay for it every single time, it's a business. It's not a religion. And I know people say, well, people donate a lot to the Catholic Church. Okay, but they don't have to. They don't have to go to mass and have to pay. A lot of them do because they like going to mass and they like supporting the church. That's different than having to pay for it. In Scientology, you have to pay for it. And they most certainly 100%, 1000% do not have mass. And I'm telling you that because in 1979, they were trying to handle the city of Clearwater, Florida, and I lived there. And one of the biggest upsets was they're not really a religion. They don't even have religious services. So I brought that back to OSA and told them, and we decided, okay, we'll start a religious service. So that was one day a week on Sunday. We did a little thing with a potluck. That was it. That was our religious services. And now they're trying to say from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, you cannot use, you really can't. Now they have, someone told me today, you can't look in their windows. And I'm not talking about peering in their windows, but you can't stand on the street and look at the window. And I just thought, oh my God, they're really flipping out. So I thought we should just do a silent picket, especially with all the ex-Scientologists, but even everybody, just do a big silent picket where we don't say anything and we just look in their windows. I'd love to have them come say, you can't look in those windows. I mean, come on, let's get it on tape. I mean, that's ridiculous. But anyway, there's that. Now they're trying to pitch they have mass. First of all, they don't have mass. They never did. We started the Sunday service. We had a little person come speak about something. It was pretty good. It was kind of a spiritual thing. but that was it. It was nothing real, and it was only for PR. That was the reason they started it. The rest of it is all their courses and auditing, which you have to pay for. You have to pay for it. It isn't like you might pay for it or you could pay for it. Now you can join the Sea Org for the billion years, and they will promise they'll give you the entire bridge. Do they? No. You can go ask any Sea Org member. How far are you up at the bridge? I'd just like to know. And, really ask them in a nice way. Like, how far are you up the bridge? And most of them haven't even made it to clear. They certainly aren't OTs, which they're lucky for that because it's a mess. But anyway, Scientology does not deliver what they promise, and they certainly are not doing mass. So I want you guys, wherever you are, wherever you're posting, to just post that Scientology is now pitching they have mass. Because I think the Catholic Church should get in on this. This is like, now wait a second. The Catholic Church has mass. I was raised a Catholic. I know mass. Scientology 100% does not have mass. And they never have, and they never will. And L. Ron Hubbard was against churches and religion and angels and Jesus and God. He was basically against everything. He did say in the eight dynamics, the eighth dynamic was a higher power, whatever you believe that to be. So it sort of, threw it out there like, okay, if you want to believe in something, believe in whatever you want to believe in. But he certainly didn't. And there's very little about God in Scientology. So, and faith, I mean, I remember when Tommy Davis with the BBC, with John Sweeney, he said, "You are invalidating our faith." And I turned on my webcam just like this and said, "Your faith? Your faith in what? In L. Ron Hubbard? You don't have faith. They have never had faith. And they don't have faith." It's like the whole bullshit thing. They made me in charge of the Scientology Parishioners League. What was the purpose of that? To totally handle any upsets with L. Ron Hubbard and the Church of Scientology. So, if there was a newspaper article, something like that, I'd call them up and say, look, we're a religion and blah, 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 whatever. It was very much towards the end of my being in there. But I realized, just by the name, they made it, or I think we came up with it, but they put the concept there. I think that's when she told me we want to be thought of as a real religion. And so we came up with parishioner, right? All before that, it was always a member. You were never, ever a parishioner until I think it was 1999. And that's when we changed it to the Scientology Parishioners League. And they started talking about parishioners. And now it's not an org, it's a church, and it's like they're not a church. For people watching this who don't really know, wait, let me see if I can get my water. Hey, yeah, I got it. Thank you. This is what they believe in. This is their top part of the church, Mr. Zenu. And you can look it up. Look up www.xenu.net. And the handwritten material by L. Ron Hubbard is in there. Okay. So that's all I want to let you know. If you can post on your site, Scientology they do not have mass. They do not have real mass. And I think we should start a thing asking the Catholic Church to post what they think. I kind of know Scientology has been in with them for a long time. So they'll probably still side with them one way or the other. But the point is the people know. And that's the difference. So you can say, come on, this guy was against churches, religions, God, Jesus, angels. He thought it was all bullshit. So if he thinks it's bullshit, how are they having mass? What are they doing in their mass? I know what they're doing. They're just reading Scientology shit, to take up time. But here's the deal that's going to happen, and I promise you this. It's because they are all day, all night, not all night, but they're all day. They go from like 9 in the morning till noon, 1 till 6, 7 till 10, and then all weekend. So this is just the beginning. with them saying you can't be yelling during these hours. This is the beginning of it. And then they're going to go from 3:30 to 6. We have people on course, so we're having a later mass. And then in the evening we have the latest mass. And then each weekend we have mass. They don't have mass. They don't. Period. Period. So that's the end of my thing. They do not have mass. And Scientology, you're full of shit and you know it. Okay, so now I'm going to just see if any of you have. Someone said, look it up. Okay, so let me just see if there's any questions that I can answer. If you could put question, that really helps. Ooh, wow, a lot of you are on here. Cool, hi. My goodness, okay. Okay, so a bunch of people saying hello, thank you. I can't read your names because I'm on this little cell phone, so I'm sorry. But they had music blasting, that's right, while in mass. Yeah, that's their thing. So you can't record, which is also bullshit. I'm here, Tori, your friend from Nova Scotia. Okay, I said hi to you. Okay, hit the button for our Tori. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Please like this video. Let's see, we have 41 people on here. We should have at least 41 likes. Okay, let's like it up. That's good. I like that. Thank you. And we should have more people on here too. You love your stories. Thank you. A lot of people do come on, excuse me, after this also. So that's good too. Kelly Mills, I knew you would be. Okay. Okay, good morning from the Philippines. All right. I like the Philippines. I've been watching you since 2019 and it's inspiring to see you build such a thriving life after leaving Scientology. Thank you. I agree. That's a surprising thing because when you're in, they make it like there's nothing, there's nothing out there, nothing. You'll have no friends, you have nowhere to work. So, your only solution is to stay in Scientology and go up the bridge, which isn't true. I'm going to take out my little mint. But that's what they say. And people, that's why I call it the Truman Show, because you're insulated, you're isolated, you're surrounded by Scientologists. So, of course, you believe it, right? All right, so now let me see. If you love the Magoo, HR, the like button. Okay. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Okay, thank you. Okay, we went up to 49. That's good. That's better. That's good. I welcome all of you. I love that you come here. And let me just see. Mass is a religious service. Right. At Pagan Diva. Okay. Anyway, it's not Scientology. They're a joke. Yep. Tori Live, that's true. The mass is going to be stats backwards for Thursday at 2. That's right. Today's Friday, right? So Friday is the beginning of their new week. So they're going to count this for their new week, as statistics. They're so full of shit. It's ridiculous. Okay. Did not keep him from using the cross. Right. He'll use anything. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, they've got this big cross, which people are like, the hell is that? But they have a definition for it, and they've got all the different points, and they've got it covered. They always do. They've always got stuff. Hello, Tori. Hope you're well. I am, except I've got this gargly thing in my throat because I haven't talked all day. This is the first I've talked. But now I'm going out, so that should be fun. Hail, Lord Zeno. And I might be protesting later, so that should be fun. Finally catching up with you live. Yep, the Idol Orgs. That's right, the Idol Orgs. That's a good name for them. Okay, all right. And if you have any questions, put question. It is outrageous that they're trying to say they have mass. I mean, that's the first I've ever heard of that. That's as bad as Tommy Davis saying you're invalidating our faith. I'm like, your faith? I mean, your faith in what? Same as the Mormon Church, right? Tori, you should feel guilty for making me laugh so hard. I know. It is kind of funny, isn't it? If people didn't get suckered into it and they didn't stop freedoms, it would be very funny. But they do. They stop freedoms. They stop free speech. They stop free thought. They stop families. They stop medical things that will help people. And I'm a great example of that. They're creepy people. They stop your money flows. I think they're trying any tactics they can now. Wait, I can't read the rest of it. Oh, you went away. Everybody vanished. All right, come back. I don't know. Okay, hi, Tori. Hi, chat. Hope I'm not too late. You're never too late because I'm going to post it at the end and then you can listen to anything that you might have missed. But just so you know, Scientology is now saying they're having mass. So we can't protest from 3 till, what is it, 9 till 3 because they're having mass. It's like, what a bunch of bullshit. I guess you have to have done it to know how much of a bullshit that is. I think they are trying any tactic they can now to try, as TGEY are getting desperate. I think you meant they're getting desperate. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Um anyway, there you go. Does anybody have any question? Oh, here's a question. Are you going out with DOA and Laura later? Have your shirt. I've got my shirt on, and yep, I'll probably see them. And I'm also going to go with my friend Drew, and we'll probably be somewhere in the LA area around Scientology at some point. That's all I'm gonna say. And Osa, shame on you. You just see that's more material for us. That's all there is. It's more material. It's like, you think you won because you stopped DOA from his using his megaphone. But the truth is, you lied through your teeth. You said he's interrupting your mass, which you know that is not true. And I know that's not true. And any ex Scientologist knows that's not true. Laura knows it's not true. No. And now I get why opera singers do that. Oh, I used to always think, why do they do that? Because they sound so great when they sing. But now I get it. I've been writing and, posting on DOA's site and stuff like that. I haven't really been talking on the phone or anywhere. So now I start talking, after sleeping all night and then eating but not really doing anything verbal. And here I am, Miss Gargly. Anyway, sorry about that. Now you guys vanished. Somebody's got to tell me about that. Please tell me what happens. I think somebody said, "Oh yeah, that's right." They said slide it. Okay. Isn't mass? Mass is a Catholic thing. That's right. It is totally a Catholic thing. I don't know any other religion that says they are having mass. So yes, you're right, and thank you for pointing that out. I was raised Catholic, so for me it was always kind of in my head and sort of like, okay, they certainly don't have anything about God. It was kind of surprising. They didn't have anything about faith, but they did have all this tactic you had to follow. And of course, by the time you get to OT3, you find out Hubbard was against all of it anyway. Let's see, the Mormon services are most of the day on Sundays, so it's possible. All right. The Pagan Diva opened fast with bean and rice. That sounds good. I'm up for bean and rice. The police did end up saying it was a religious class, and that still counted. Yeah, I know. They've done that with me for years because we've protested. And it's like, if you're so many feet from them, you're interrupting their religious services. But I know their schedule. So I'm like, they're not having religious services right now. In Scientology, I know your schedule. So, no. And you're not going to get away with it. It's not going to happen. You can say it and you can get some people who don't know things, but I do know things. All right. What's the most effective way to protest and reach Scientology members to make them think? See, for me, if I knew that, they'd all be out, but they're not, are they? First of all, reaching Scientologists is very difficult because they keep them very inside. As you see now, they've got all the curtains shut so that nobody can see, and most people can't hear, and they play the music so they can't hear. But if you do get a chance to talk or be around a Scientologist, one of the biggest things that for me, I try to think of when I was a member, and having all the blinds pulled down, I would just say, like, how free are you? And you have to say it in a nice way, because if you say it in a mean way, that supports OSA. OSA says they're mean, they're angry, they don't know what they're talking about. So if you go, why do you have up those things? They're like, yeah, that's what they said. But if you go, you know what? I, I just don't get it. I want you to explain it to me. I mean, you're part of a church, but you guys, promote that you help people with freedom, but you're constantly, it seems like you can't talk to most people. You can't talk to Tory. You can't talk to any of these ex-members. How free is that? I mean, have you ever thought about that? I mean, I just, it's confusing to me. I want you to explain it to me. And then that way they can at least think about it for a second, even. They used to have a thing called the Hazy membership, which was the Hubbard Association of Scientology International, which Hubbard came up with. And you had to pay $1,000, and now you're a Hazy member for a lifetime, right? But then he died, and Miscavige came up with the IAS, and you had to pay money for that. And we were pissed. And I went over across the street to where the IAS thing was at the time. And I said, look, where's that in writing? And she said, oh, you're an auditor, right? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, they're the only people I'm having trouble with. And I said, exactly, because we've been drilled and billed on if it isn't in writing, it isn't true. And there is nothing in writing about this IAS stuff. Miscavige just pulled it out of his ass and everybody went along with it. And now I forgot what there was a point that I was originally saying, but now I forgot it. So unless somebody can remember it, what I was talking about. Let's see. The old question, if you're truly free. Oh yeah, why can't you read yeah, certain books? Exactly. Like that was what started helping me wake up, believe it or not, was just like there were hundreds, not hundreds, but at least 50 people yelling at me facts about L. Ron Hubbard and saying Scientology's lying, Scientology's this, they're evil, they're a cult, all this stuff. I never heard any of that. But this one guy came up to me and he goes, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah. And he goes, if you're free, why can't you read certain books? And I said, oh, I can. I can read anything I want. Now, there were only 3 books out then. And I said, oh, I can read anything I want. I don't want to read certain books. He said, okay. And he left. And I always try to remind people our voices are like music. They can be, or they can be, they can be a positive thing or a negative thing. And if you're angry, generally for Scientologists, that's a negative thing because remember, they live and die by the tone scale, the emotional tone scale, which I need to do a video on that for you guys to show you and stuff. But it has anger is like way down there. So that's like, when you're like, yeah, God, they're like, see, look how downtoned they are. Whereas this guy was very uptone. He was like, I just don't get it. But he really wanted an answer. It wasn't like he was just saying it to upset me. He really and truly wanted an answer to the question, and I could feel it. So anyway, he kept coming back, and he'd say, "Okay." He'd tap me on the shoulder. He'd say, "Can I just ask you again? Because I don't quite get it." And I'd say, "Okay, what's your question?" And he'd say the same question again. If you're free, why can't you read certain books? And I think, God, I can't believe this guy's asking me this again. And I'd say, I told you, I can read any book I want. I just don't want to. There's certain books I don't want to read. They're just filled with lies, right? And of course, that's what Scientology tells you. And you believe it because you're in the Scientology Truman Show, surrounded by Scientologists, insulated, isolated, and I never looked. So now I come home, and I've told this story 1,000 times, but I might tell it another 1,000 times because I think it's a great story. So I come home thinking I'm free. All these critics have been saying how I'm not free, but I'm not hearing them. But I do hear that one guy about reading certain books. And I had these 4 Dalmatians up on a poster, all black and white, and one had a pink collar around it. And at the bottom, it said, Dare to be different. And I sat on this bed and I thought, I'm about as different as a rock. And that's from that guy. That made me realize that was a big break in my Truman Show. It was like, I'm not free. If I was free, he's right. I could read any book, and I can't. And I just thought, but I don't want to. But it's like all the stuff that you've been built in, you don't want to. They're all lies. These guys were expelled, blah, blah, blah. They just have all kinds of shit. So that's in your head. And it's like, okay, I don't want to read those books. But in the subconscious, it's a little bit like, okay, Tori, you used to be a free speech advocate. What happened? That's a little on the subconscious end of like, what happened? Do you see what I mean? Whereas being nice, people then they can have a chance to think. Whereas the other way, they really don't. That's my opinion. But like I say, I could be wrong. I've talked to people for years, and I have gotten people out. But maybe this is a new thing. Maybe they do need to be held out. I don't know. My thing is like, do what you feel good about. But do what you feel good about. Like Stacey Brooks told me this, and I never forgot it. I left Scientology, escaped across the country. They put me in their guest room, handed me a laptop. Bob gave me a laptop, and Stacy said, "Look, Tori, I'm just going to tell you one thing. Never put on the internet anything that you don't want to see on the front page of the New York Times tomorrow." And that was very good. And I always remember that. It's kind of like do stuff you're proud of. Do stuff you'd feel good if your mother, your father, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, the whole world, anybody knew, you'd go, yeah, that's how I stand. I stand for that. I feel good about that. And if you do and yelling is it, okay, then that's your method of doing it. Do you see what I mean? I think we all have different methods, and I think they're all important. And you never know what one might get through to somebody. You never do until it happens, and then you go, "Oh my God, that worked." So I say, do what you think is right. Okay, so now let me scroll back up here. Why music? Mass dance. You mean why are they playing music? They're playing music because they say it's their copyrighted material. So thus people can't, this is my understanding, they can't go close to them because they'll say, "Oh, you're taping that. That's our copy." I think it's bullshit. If you play music out from your house out onto the sidewalk is public sidewalk. I can pick it there. I don't think it's true. I don't. But that's me, and I'm still learning, remember, so don't necessarily follow me because these guys are way more astute on this kind of thing than I am. I'm just kind of the new kid on the block. How to reach protesters. Yeah, how to reach protesters. The old question. Okay, there you go. Thank you for reminding me of that. I think it's Alaska. Um, you're late, but you're there. That's okay. That's good. Wow, we're up to 74 likes. All right, thank you. Thank you for each person that has. There's 66 people here and 76 for likes. All right, so that's good. That's better than the people here. That's good. I'm happy you guys are here. All right, now I learned about Hubbard being a con man before I knew he created Scientology. Good. That's good. It's so cool. Okay. It's extremely difficult to penetrate the cult through plexiglass. Yeah, it is. It really is, but never stop trying. We shouldn't try to get, excuse me, a rice. We shouldn't get a rise out of the ordinary members, in my opinion. Um, Even if some of them do throw back, some unpalatable claims, all fed by the upper echelon of the cult, of course. Okay. All right. Kindness gets people, and my eyes are getting blurry, thinking in a good way. I think that's true. I really do. I think basically, I know Hubbard said this, but so did many other philosophers, that man is basically good. And I believe that's true, even though I'm gargling away. Sorry, I apologize. Ooh. So I think, yeah, man is basically good. And if you tap into that goodness, a lot of times somebody who's kind of creepy. I mean, I had a thing over on Burroughs, which is right near my house. It's a high school. And I just happened to be walking by there. This was years ago. I was in the cult, everything else. But I see it's a football field, right? And over in the corner is just a little patch. And I see this kid on the ground. And I see 5 cops with bats. They're all up like this. They're ready to just smash this kid. And I just jumped and I went, that's it. No, you don't need to hit him. No, you can pick him up and talk to him, but no, you can't hit him. And you know what? They all put their bats away. So it's like I believe we need to stand up for each other. You know what I mean? And definitely for kids. But um, it's just one of those things. It's like you never know when you can help someone, and it's important to try. And it makes you feel good. It does. I felt so good when all of them put their bats away. I thought, oh, I felt so good that that kid didn't get hit. They tried to make it an issue when the live streams went on YouTube with their music. Yeah, right. I heard that. I did. But that didn't really work, right? Nothing ever works with them. I really think it is so the people inside, oh, it's so the people inside can't hear what the people outside are saying. That could be true too. Yeah, with the music. But again, they're stopping free speech. You can just say, hey, how come you can't hear me? Think about it. I do this all the time because I come around and they go, get inside, get inside. And I go like this, hurry up, get inside. There's free speech out here. Be careful. Be very careful. There's free speech out here. And they all go running inside. And I think it's got to stick in their head. You know what I mean? With me, I'm the SP going, there's free speech out here. Hurry up, get inside, quick. I mean, humor is a great thing. You got to keep that into. All right, so Natalie wants to interview you. Great. She says she's tried to contact you. Well, see if she could just put Natalie in the subject line and then her phone number, and I'll call her because I'm not big on this emailing and typing all this shit. It's too much. I'm a pick up the phone, give me a call, I'll talk to you. That's I've been that way all my life. I mean, my husband used to say, "You were born with the phone in your ear." And my mother has pictures of me as a little girl, and I'm sitting with the phone. Okay, Tori. Okay, so there's the thing with Natalie. So let Natalie know I definitely want to. Love your channel. Binge watching from Oklahoma. Okay, that's a cool state. I have a good story about Oklahoma sometime. And I'll tell it. But it was the beginning of this really cool thing that happened. It's a whole different thing, though, a whole different subject. Wait a second, now I lost everybody. Tori, the hero in so many ways. Ah, well, that's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. All right. I appreciate you taking time to respond in such a kind manner. I have so much respect for you. Oh, you're going to make me cry. That's really nice. Who is that? Who is that person? I can't see. I think it's my eyes are so bad when after a while. What is it? Okay, I gotta see this name. Just a second. They went away. Damn it. Okay. LSINDEVO is what I think it is. Anyway, thank you. You know who you are. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. You know who you are. And I appreciate it. All right. So anyway, I'm going to end off on this because I've got to go. We're going to go a few secret things, and then you'll probably see. I'll probably make another video a little later, so poke on in. But anyway, for everyone who came on, thank you. For everyone who has donated money, I really appreciate it. Some people I can't thank because they have it set up where I can't, and so I really I just want to thank each person. It really means a lot to me. It does. So thank you. And all of you coming on today, that means a lot to me. The fact that you liked the video, that means a lot to me. And if you have any questions afterwards, just post them. I'm gonna hit the X, and then that'll put it online. And then if you have a question, you go, ah, she didn't answer this. Just post it there, and I'll answer. I'm gonna start writing them down, and then I'll answer it in the next one. Okay, now let's see. Stay safe. I will. I have to. Thank you, Tori. You're a gem. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. And you guys too have a wonderful weekend. And do something that makes your heart warm. That's a good thing. I try to do that every day. Great to see you. Thank you. And stay safe out there. Take care. I will. I have to. I'm 76. At this point, you kind of have to stay. I mean, there's probably people that are way more, versatile than I am. But for me, I'm like, I'm an older person, but that's okay. People are nice to older people, believe it or not. Way nicer than they were when I was, younger. Oh my God, it's kind of mind blowing. It really is, and it's very sweet. It really is. I really appreciate it. People hold doors for me, and they'll come out, do you want my arm? And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'll be with Spanky, and she definitely needs somebody. I've had to ask waiters, we need some help with this, and they'll help her out. And then somebody will come up to me and say, well, you can take my arm too. And I'm like, okay, I will. So there you go. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.